Now, before I touch that topic, disclaimer, disclaimer. I am not saying that tourism is not important to the country. I am not in any way, shape, or form trying to insinuate that the tourism industry is not beneficial to the socio-economic development of the land. What I'm trying to say is this: to the extent that you people try to make it look like tourism is God and tourism can save this country, tourism alone or whatever, that is falsehood. It is a form of brainwash to make people spend all their time and their energy slaving in that tourism vibe. You'll try to make it look in this country as if that tourism industry is God. That tourism industry is so much, is so necessary, as if it and of itself it is the most important thing that we have or ever had in this land. That's not true. That tourism industry, it is not our industry. What was our industry is the banana industry. The banana industry, where every week we were bringing $3 million in the country, and that money, for the most part, was going into the hands of local people. Every week, somebody in the valley was buying a van. Anytime there was a first communion, it was like there was a how do you call it, like a wedding ceremony. People were able to buy their appliances, build their houses, and do things for themselves. People were able to build their homes, buy land. But when you look at it, that tourism industry, who really benefit, and let's analyze that tourism industry in this country. The high level executives, the high level managers in this tourist industry, they are not St. Lucians for the most part. The people at the top of the socio-economic ladder in the tourism industry, the people who run the big hotels, the people at the top of the feeding trough, are not St. Lucians. They are not. It is alleged that a lot of the monies that is gained from the tourism industry does not even touch St. Lucia. And then you want to convince people that that thing is our God. Huh? Who own these hotels? Who own them? Who own these hotels that we have here? These hotels that you all make believe that is it's so important that we can't live without them things. Who own them hotels? Again, I'm not saying that the tourist industry is not employing people. So when you look at it, that tourist industry is an industry of owned and controlled by foreigners. The banana industry that we had, when it was real viable, it was controlled and owned by us. We the people. We the people do not own that tourism industry. We do not own that tourism industry. And it gets me angry sometimes when I look and I see this St. Lucia Hotel and Tourist Association. Some of them come in and talk sometimes, making it look as if that thing is so our bread and butter. You all are talking on behalf of hotel owners and rich people overseas. You all don't represent our people. You all don't represent our workers. Who represent workers? Some of the last time, somebody was telling me that like the people who actually clean this or some of this hotel room in one of them hotels, the amount of rooms that the ladies have to clean for a day. When I did the calculation, to me it was roughly around, you were getting around $1 to clean a room. I'm going based on the information. It looked like they were getting $1 for every room that they clean. So don't come and make it look like that in that tourism industry vibe. And the other thing too is taxpayers of this country, taxpayers' money is being used to pay airplanes to come to St. Lucia to furnish these hotels. Taxpayers' money is being used to pay planes to come here. Advertisements overseas on behalf of these hotels. So we're doing so much for these hotels. And imagine there is one of them hotels that owed the government of St. Lucia around $24 million US, I think. And they never paid. Them hotels getting concessions on all the profitable things, the rum and the wine and all of them things. You all making money in them hotels. You're trying to make it look like this is our industry. That's not our thing. That's not our thing. This is just like the people in Europe. They used to have plantations here, and we used to grow the sugar cane and send the sugar cane back to England, send the sugar to England, working for nothing. That tourist industry look like that same kind of vibe. People from America, people from England, Germany, or wherever who own hotels here, and the money not even touching here. It is just like we were sending the best produce. We sending our sugar cane and our thing to England. So all the money going to America and all them places, and then you know we have to be smiling to people and all of them things. That remind me of the time when you were small. Them people, so some of them royal family people coming to Saint Lucia, and you're a little child, you're standing up in the hot sun all day. You're in the sun for these people to pass around. You're in the sun. That tourism thing look like the same thing. It is time that we start owning them hotels. You understand? What need to happen is 10 civil servants, 20 civil servants come together and build a nice, a nice some nice cottages or something. It's you all are the high earners in the country. The business people come together, 20 of you all, and build some cottages, build something. We can't let all them people coming from overseas and they are the ones who getting all the benefit out of the tourism thing that's going on there. And you want people to smile and clap for that. Huh? There's never any proper support for the agriculture sector. The policy for or the agriculture policy for the country, to me, looks like giving 2 bags of fertilizer. Give a bag of fertilizer here. Give 2 bags of fertilizer. That's the agriculture policy of the country. And the same thing that is being produced is being brought from overseas. Paying lip service to farming and the agricultural sector while behaving like that tourism thing is our god. How many of us own them hotels? How many of us own hotels in this country? Eh? Money is being paid for planes to come down here to support them hotels too. All that money being pumped into these things, making it look like it is so important to us. If money was being pumped into the agricultural sector, we could have generated revenue too. Guyana makes a lot of money from agricultural exports. There is always an excuse why we can't do well in farming here. There is always an excuse why we can't do well in agriculture. That tourism thing, the kind of strength and the kind of support and the kind of worship you all want to worship that vibe, I ain't on that. My thing is the agriculture sector because my people eat on that. They make their living off of that. You see that thing where you all want people to support tourism and all the money is overseas is going to rich white people. Me not in that.